Telangana Jagruthi, that was the cultural wing of the TRS, has now become Bharat Jagruthi, and I have with me Kavitha, who's been spearheading this from the beginning. You are now talking about women's reservation bill and asking for it, but your party has been no exception.
Absolutely. No party in this country is an exemption, not even BJP, not even Congress, no regional parties, no new parties like BRS who are making their foray into national level. India, as it is as a country, we are very patriarchal in nature, and that's why we are not encouraging our women to come out in various sectors even today. Most of us, at least, are educated who are coming out, but there still are many barriers that we see. So,
are you calling everyone across all party lines? Does that include the BJP MPs as well?
We are demanding from the BJP, so we're not going to call them. We will demand it out of them, and rest of the parties, rest of the social organizations, and well-informed citizens, people who have been working for women's rights. We will call most of them from all 29 states, and we will stage a sit-down, peaceful sit-down protest at Jantar Mantar on the March 10th. Because at least now, after putting the women reservation bill promise in both their manifestos, it's 9 years completed of BJP government. We want to remind them that you are failing the women of this nation. You are failing the nation by failing the women of this nation. So we at least want them to wake up from their slumber now and go ahead and bring in the women reservation bill. And BRS as a party has passed a resolution in the assembly, and we had said whenever central government brings a women reservation bill, we will support them. But yet we have alternate solutions as well. Our honorable leader KCR Garu believes that number of parliament seats have to be increased, and then 33% reservation is to be given. And my personal opinion, I believe that each party should be given an independence to pick and choose their 33% of the seats, so that more and more women can come into politics.
So that women don't compete against women alone.
Yes, women should not compete against women, and it means only one person will win if 6-7 women contest from various parties. So instead, if parties can scatter around those seats, we might come up more than 33% and hopefully one day 50%.
Yes. Mr. Stalin had his birthday. Why was the BRS absent from there? It is obviously an indicator that all the non-BJP parties were coming together. Was the Congress presence the reason you were not there?
Well, honestly, I don't know about that because I've just come in for the press conference now, what's happened in that. But then you've seen our Honorable Chief Minister on Twitter wished Mr. Stalin, and our friendship is very much intact. So not being present in one event could be of any technical reason. So that apart.
You are possibly not invited in that event, but is that because of the mutual understanding between you and the DMK that when a Congress presence is there, the BRS would not be present?
No, I am not aware of any such thing. And Uma, I sincerely believe today political parties have to come together, right? But then if every political party wants to stand on a high pedestal and dictate the other political parties, I don't think it's going to work that way. And that is why BRS has constantly said BRS will be a team player. We are there, we will work with like-minded people, and we have demonstrated it time and again. So I cannot speak for what Congress will do, Congress should do, but one thing I know, nobody should talk about leading, but being a team player. And it applies the same as to the Congress as well.
Because when the Congress said in Raipur that yes, we believe that all the non-BJP parties need to come together, you are also willing to work with the Congress.
And Mr. Kharge also said we will lead all the parties. That is where I personally have a problem. BRS as a party has not expressed a view yet, but I personally believe today Congress or any other party should be willing to be a part of a coalition, be a team player, put out a strategy to boot out Mr. Modi. We should all work very hard. So if the responsibility, Congress should also own up that responsibility is what I'm saying.
Mr. KTR has also spoken now about, CBI, ED, central agencies being used. And this is at a time when Mr. Manish Sisodia has been arrested, and your name has come up in the South group time and again. And even in his case, he was not named as accused and directly an arrest has happened. What are your thoughts on what's happening?
See, it's been 7-8 months now, not 1 or 2 days. They're constantly trying to drag my name into various issues. Well, I would only leave it to the decision of the agencies, how transparent they want to be, or they want to play dirty by just leaking out information which was never done earlier. People are actually going to the court saying that our privacy should be protected and things should not be leaked, etc. So if the confidence on agencies is gone, then there is no sanctity left to what they do. Already CBI, ED, IT we've seen have been used by the current regime in in contrast to the earlier Congress regime. Congress also did that to an extent, but if Congress raided 200 people, these guys have raided 20,000 people. So there's a stark difference in the usage of agencies. So my simple query is this: I'm always ready, because I know I've done nothing wrong and I've been very cooperative and open to all the agencies. Whatever they want to do, they can do. And there is nothing called as a South group, it doesn't exist. But there is something called as an Adani group, and it does exist. So my only query with Honorable Prime Minister is, if you see fault only on the opposition side, why should you not check your friends? Why should you not check your own party people? Is everybody in BJP that clean? Is that the messaging that you want to give the people? Because people now understand, and it has become a joke, at least across in Telangana villages, that Modi se pehle to ED aata hai. Simple logic. There is nothing more to it. So,
but BJP leaders here in the state have been saying, next is Ms. Kavitha who's going to be arrested.
Let them say. They might be turning into astrologers, because they're anyway going to be jobless after the election in Telangana. They're not going to get a single seat as well. So let them turn into astrologers, do whatever. But then by saying so, they're exposing their own party's nexus with the agencies. Their party today puts a press conference, the agency sends a notice to the person. The party today alleges a leader, then there's a raid in that house. Like, for example, I've heard, I don't know, Bengal, Mr. Suvendu Adhikari gave 100 names to Mr. Shah, and then all the 100 leaders are being raided. So these are openly being told in various public platforms, social media platforms. If that is the case in this country, and you cannot win election on the love of the people, but you need the support of these agencies, I really pity that party, and that will not continue for too long. We will work as BRS very, very hard to boot them out.
You spoke about Bengal. People are talking about the Bengal model probably that the BJP will employ in Telangana as well. Is your party actually preparing for early elections? For two reasons, obviously, that you'll get more time for the general elections to prepare your national party to become a national party as well. And perhaps the attention of the BJP will be diverted with a Karnataka, and they'll not put their entire focus on Telangana if the elections were to happen together.
See, two things here. I will not respond to that, because party will respond at the appropriate time. But we are like a student who's always prepared. You know, we are a hardworking student. We work every day. We are a hardworking government. We are constantly in people, with people. So election will come tomorrow or day after or next year. We are not worried. Whereas for BJP, the problem is they don't work. They're constantly campaigning. So their problem is timing, etc., polarization. They have to look into all those issues. Now, before Mr. Modi goes in, they have to release 16,000 crores to the farmers. You know, all that, what can I say, antiques and all that. I don't want to use bad words. I'm being very careful here. All that kind of dramebazi people understand now. You know, just before the election, you have to do all this. No, we are not like that. We are constantly in the people. We have till date given more than 67,000 crores to our farmers, but in a dedicated manner, in a continued manner, not just because there is an election or not just because there is something tomorrow. It's our commitment to the people. So we are not worried about BJP. And if at all my party decides, you know, Mr. KCR is always open. He declares it and then goes to the election.
Okay, the Supreme Court today said that we will have a panel which will look into the Adani row. Is that something that satisfies you, or are you still saying, like the Congress has been demanding, a joint parliamentary committee probe into this issue?
I personally, Uma, believe that the investigation by SEBI will only reveal one aspect of what Mr. Adani has done, and there is much more that needs to be investigated. Many more agencies that need to actually do the investigation, because one after the other, many scams are being surfaced. Since last 2-3 days, we are getting a lot of details on coal, and today morning there has been a serious threat following up on something that has happened in China. And when we look into the past, some 18,000 cases in Zambia. So there's a huge plethora of things that are coming up against Mr. Adani. Now the problem is the proximity of Mr. Adani to the Honorable Prime Minister, and the problem is the investments of public sector units like LSI and SBI. If Mr. Adani's entire debt is 100 rupees, then 40% is taken by the national bank, given by the national banks. That is our fundamental worry. So the CAG should investigate into SBI's accounts, LIC's accounts. So one agency, SEBI, it's a welcome move, because Honorable Prime Minister was not saying anything unless and until directed by the Supreme Court of India. So at least they have opened their mouths and trying to do something. But yet that is just only a part and parcel of what Mr. Adani has done, and the rest of it still needs to be investigated, and we will follow it up.
The last question on the election commissioner itself, now saying that it will be the PM, the LOP, the leader of the opposition, as well as the CJI, who will take a call on it. Why was this needed at this time? Election Commission is a body that's been guaranteed its position under the Constitution.
Well, that's what we all thought, right? But when repeated complaints were happening during UP election, EVMs found in dustbins, various people complaining about, not in my election, I've seen. We've requested the Election Commission time and again saying we've had 24 EVMs in my election. Each booth had 24 EVMs. Not even single EVM was numbered. Where was the Election Commission then? So there seems to be a lot of lapses in implementing and protecting a citizen's right who's contesting the election. So I'm very, very happy and welcoming the panel set up by Honorable Chief Justice. I think it's a brilliant move, welcoming move, and I'm truly believing that releases Election Commission out of the current administration's hands and they can function freely now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.